Chapter 6 True Nature of the Void. Then Sariputra addressed the Buddha, Lord, the cultivation of the Bodhisattva path is free of both signs and characteristics. The three moral precepts, abandoning all evils, doing all good, and liberating all sentient beings, are also beyond observance. How should we maintain and observe so that we can transmit them to sentient beings? May the Buddha proclaim this for us out of his mercy and compassion. The Buddha replied, Good man, you listen with full attention. I will proclaim this for you. Good man, all wholesome and unwholesome dharmas are illusory projections of the mind. All the sense realms are the discriminations and differentiations of mentation and speech. Tether them on one spot, and all the co-originating factors will cease to exist. Why? Good man, the one primordial enlightenment basically is beyond generation. Thus, the functioning of the three outflows via body, speech, and mind becomes inoperative. By abiding within the principle of thusness, the gates leading to the 6 roads, sense organs, are shut, and the 4 co-originating factors which are in accord with thusness become replete with the 3 moral precepts. Sariputra asked, how do the 4 co-originating factors that accord with thusness become replete with the 3 moral precepts? The Buddha replied, the 4 co-originating factors are, firstly, the power of nirvana in bringing about the cessation of these factors that otherwise require the observance of the precepts, maintains both the discipline and deportments of the moral code. Secondly, the power of self-benediction, generated from the pure bases of the 5 roots, comprising faith, courage, thought, concentration, and wisdom, and their 5 respective strengths, is the moral code that culminates in wholesome dharmas. Thirdly, the power of the great compassion inherent in the self-wisdom is the moral code that incorporates the vow to save all sentient beings. Fourthly, the power of the penetrative wisdom of the One Enlightenment is in accord with abidance in thusness, which embraces all the spiritual powers and wisdom through the working of co-origination. These are the 4 co-originating factors. Good man, thus the power of the 4 great factors does not linger over the substance as well as the characteristics of its work, nor lacking in the scope or efficiency in its functioning. Although absolutely quiet in its work, it impartially helps transcend all sentient beings. As it does not have any abode, it cannot be sought. Being free of abiding, its 6 fruits cease to attach to the 6 dusts. Good man, the one enlightenment of thusness completely embraces all the 6 practices. It is the Buddha's sea of bodhi and wisdom. Sariputra remarked, the Lord said that the power of the 4 great factors does not linger over the substance as well as the characteristics of its work, nor lacking in the scope or efficiency in its functioning. This Dharma is on the true void, permanent, blissful, with selfhood and pure. Transcending the 2 types of selfhood, the selfhood of the ego and dharmas, it is the great parinirvana. Such a mind has no bounds, non-abiding. It is a powerful contemplation, direct awareness of the mind by itself. All the 37 requisites of enlightenment must be within this contemplation. The Buddha said, indeed it does. It is inclusive of the 37 requisites of enlightenment. How? Because it includes the 4 applications of mindfulness, the 4 right efforts, the 4 bases of spiritual power, the 5 faculties, the 5 powers, the 7 factors of enlightenment, and the Noble Eightfold Path, or whatever name or title it is being called. Although there are many classifications, they have but one essence, that they all lead to enlightenment. They are neither one, although they are of the same transcendental essence, nor different, although they are under different names. Despite their manifold names, such names are merely names and letters. As they are ultimately void in nature, therefore, beyond differentiation, the dharmas relating to the respective names are beyond grasp. A dharma that is beyond grasp has only a single essence and is free from all descriptions. The characteristic of being free from description is the nature of the absolute void. The essence of that void nature is in accord with the reality of thusness. The principle of thusness embraces all dharmas. Good man, a person who abides by, accesses this principle of thusness, crosses or transcends the sea of the three sufferings, pain, decay, and unnecessary deviated practice. Saripusha asks, all the myriads of dharmas are but the expressions of speeches and writings. Anything characterized through speech and writing has no essence. Essence that accords with reality is beyond the images conveyed via language and disputation. How does the Tathagata now proclaim the Dharma? The Buddha replied, I proclaim the Dharma for the sake of you sentient beings. I proclaim that which cannot be spoken about beyond words. As the Dharma, being void in nature, is beyond description, this is why I expound the Dharma for the sake of communication with sentient beings. What I speak of is the language, transcendental essence, not merely words. But the speeches of sentient beings are mere words and languages without essence. Non-essence and words must be understood to be all empty, devoid of essence and delusory. Empty and delusory words convey nothing relating to the essence, and anything that does not convey this essence is false speech. Speech that is in accordance with this essence is truly void and yet not void, for the void is real yet unreal. Such speech is beyond all dualistic characteristics and is also not centered between characteristics. The Dharma that is not so centered is beyond the three characteristics of creation, abidance, and related cessation. It has no abode to be found. Speech that is beyond the three characteristics is made according to thusness. Thusness is non-existent and yet not non-existent. Thusness, being a non-abiding Dharma, is beyond both existence and non-existence. Being void of nature, its existence cannot exist within existence. There is nowhere that thusness does not exist. As one should not be attached to the mere wordings of speech, one should not even abide by thusness. As the Dharma of thusness neither exists nor does not exist, it can only be thusly said. Saripusha said, as the spiritual path of all sentient beings begin as ichantikas, persons, blocks from enlightenment, in order to attain the level of the Tathagatas and the Tathagatas' absolute characteristics of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, how should the mind of an ichantika abide? The Buddha said, from the mind of the ichantika upwards until one reaches the Tathagatas and the absolute characteristics of the Tathagatas, one passes through 5 levels. First is the attainment of the 10 faiths. A follower who has no faith previously now has faith that within his body is a seed of the absolute thusness, which is being obscured by delusions. By relinquishing and abandoning the deep, deceptive thoughts, the primordially endowed mind will be pure and taintless, and one will know that all the sense realms are only the discriminations of mind and speech. Second is the attainment of contemplation, comprising the 10 abidings, 10 practices, and 10 transferences, where one is aware that all the sense realms are nothing more than the mentation and verbalization of the mind. They manifest according to the mind's discriminatory mentation and verbalization tendencies. The sense realms perceived are not the Tathagata's absolute base consciousness. Understand that the absolute base consciousness is not a dharma, an essence, the sense objects to which one clings, or the mind and the other sense organs which cling. Third is the attainment of cultivation from 1st to 7th bhumi. Cultivation involves the constant generation of bodhicitta, a mindset on awakening of the 6 paramitas and training thereof. Both the generation and training are to be carried out at the same time. Initially, one should be guided by wisdom to overcome all hindrances and difficulties. This is how one leaves and abandons all hindrances: sensual desire, hatred, sloth, and torpor, restlessness and remorse, and doubt, and shackles, shamelessness, apathy, jealousy, miserliness, regret, sleepiness, excitement, lethargy, anger, and belligerence. Fourth is the attainment of practice. Practice means abandoning all practices. The mind is free from both acceptance and rejection, manifesting the extremely pure, fundamental benediction of self-enlightenment. The thusness of the mind is motionless, and one's absolute nature is being realized. This is the great parinirvana, where amongst the six elements, earth, water, fire, wind, void, and consciousness, the void is the biggest, most powerful. Fifth is the attainment of detachment, perfect enlightenment, Buddhahood. Without abiding by its void nature, wisdom proper flows freely. Great compassion is characterized by thusness, but that characteristic does not linger in thusness. The samyak sambodhi, being void in nature, is therefore nothing to be realized. Such a mind has no boundary and without focus. This is how Tathagatahood is being arrived at. Good man, all the five attainments arise from the one enlightenment and are accessed through the self-benediction of primordial enlightenment. When one helps transform sentient beings, it must be from that self-base of enlightenment. Sariputra asked, how does one go about from that self-base? The Buddha replied, basically there is no origin. The functioning of thusness is without base. The absolute void is the base reality, responsible for the manifestation of everything. By generating bodhicitta, leading to realization of void nature of the mind that culminates in all the merits therein, one completes the sagely path. Why? Good man, like a hand grabbing air, enlightenment is neither attainment, as all dharmas are void of nature, or non-attainment, as all dharmas being void of nature arise out of co-origination. Sariputra remarked, as the Lord has explained, at the beginning of one's journey, one should aim at the self-benediction of self-enlightenment. Such a state of mind is calm and non-fabricating, and that calm non-fabrication is thusly. Thusness holds all the merits of full enlightenment and embraces all the dharmas. This is perfect non-dual fusion. It is inconceivable. We should know this dharma is the Maha Prajna Paramita, perfection of great wisdom. It is the great spiritual mantra, the mantra of great clarity, the unexcelled mantra, the unequaled mantra. The Buddha said, so it is, this void nature of the dharma is thusly. As its nature is void, it is the fire of wisdom that incinerates all knots, defilements, and sufferings. Knowing all dharmas are void of nature, they are equal in every respect. The three final stages of complete enlightenment and the three bodies, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya, of sublime enlightenment shine brilliantly, without shadows, in the ninth consciousness. Good man, this dharma is beyond cause or co-origination, since it is wisdom functioning of its own. It neither moves nor is still, as its functioning is void in nature. Its essence neither exists nor does not exist, since the characteristics of the void is void. Good man, when liberating sentient beings, one should guide them to access this essence of the void through contemplation. One who accesses this essence will meet the Tathagatas by virtue of the realization of the single Dharma body, Dharmakaya of all Buddhas. Sariputra remarked, the essence of the contemplation of the Tathagata means not lingering in any currents. One should abandon the four dhyanas, as well as their limiting tops. The Buddha said, so it is. Why? Because all dharmas are names and classifications. The four dhyanas are the same. If one meets the Tathagatas, Tathagata mind is liberated, eternally in a state of extinction, neither away nor from nor accessing it, because there is equality inside or outside. Good man, similarly, all dhyana contemplations are absorptions directed towards the cessation of perception. But thusness contemplation is not the same as those. Why? One who contemplates thusness upon thusness has no perception that he is contemplating thusness. All the characteristics relating to thusness are already calm and extinct. Calm extinction is the essence of thusness. The dhyana absorption, directed towards the cessation of perception, is in fact mental activity and not true dhyana. Why? The nature of dhyana proper is detached from all mental activities. It neither taints nor is being tainted. It is neither a dharma nor is its shadow. It is beyond all differentiations, since its essence is that of self-benediction. Good man, this contemplative absorption of thusness is to be called dhyana proper. Sariputra asked, it is inconceivable. The Tathagata constantly employs reality which accords with the essence of thusness in liberating sentient beings. The essence has many meanings and is vast in scope. Only sentient beings with sharp faculties are able to cultivate it. Sentient beings of dull faculties will find it difficult to understand its meaning. Through what expedient means can those of dull faculties be led to access this truth? The Buddha replied, one should encourage those of dull faculties to receive and maintain one four-line stanza. This will ultimately allow them to access the truth of reality. All Buddha dharmas can be condensed within a single four-line stanza. Sariputra asked, what is the four-line stanza? I beg the Lord to proclaim it. Thereupon the Lord recited the stanza. The essence of everything created by causes and originations, such essence is extinct beyond creation. Essence that extinguishes all that is subject to creation, extinction. Such essence exists and not extinct. When the great assembly heard the proclamation of this stanza, all were joyous. Everyone awakened to the state where creations, phenomenal illusions, ceased to arise through their understanding of extinction and creation. All, now having their minds silenced, awakened to the wisdom sea of prajna on the nature of the void.